The energy crisis has just begun. Yes, you heard me correctly. I know that you're seeing in the news every single day. You are probably experiencing it for yourself for a little while, and yet it's only at the beginning stages. The very first thing is why this is at the beginning and what we could expect here and what people are actually doing about it. That's where I'll start. And the second thing is about debt. Debt is exploding right now on every level. How are people going to achieve their goals if they are in maximum debt like we've never seen before? There's so much to cover. You don't want to miss it. Let's begin. I wanted to begin today's video by looking at what people are actually doing about this energy crisis. Then we'll get into the issues. Europeans are looking for ways to hack home energy use. Consumer surveys signal greater focus on home improvements. I'll break that down for you. Authorities are encouraging households to curb energy use. You've heard things such as snub the tub, or maybe don't heat your home to an appropriate level because we got to save energy. All of these things have been in this emergency scenario, and it's been going on a while. A lot of what occurred here was because of the Nord Stream, what started with the Nord Stream 2 pipeline not being certified, not being allowed to be brought online, and as a result, you see the tensions from that point on. Russia and Europe are not doing well right now. They are clearly at odds. Soaring heating and electricity prices are pushing Europeans to find hacks that will cut their energy use and reduce costs. In the particular circumstance they show here, this one individual from Sweden, he installed solar panels. They talk about how this has been, positive for him. It really depends on where you are. Yes, he says that he's saving loads of money for me. It obviously depends on what your current price of energy is. If you're paying cheap energy and you don't get that much sun and you try to put up some solar panels, you might not see that, but it all depends, right? Depends on where you are. So this just shows you the steep demand. Nordic countries have Europe's highest per capita electricity needs. Megawatt hours on the top is Iceland. Then second is Norway, Finland, Sweden. And another point to make here is what are we actually doing about the future scenarios to help entire countries? Are we fixing the problems? Well, you could see Europe trying to get the gas from Qatar. Okay, but that's not until 2026. It's going to be a while, and that's if everything goes along smooth. Are the tensions between Russia and Europe going to de-escalate? Probably not. It's not really something that's in the cards right now. So you on an individual level, you have to get your stuff in order. And that's why I tell people all the time to educate yourself, number one. Your best investment is in yourself, learning the skills that you need. If you can adapt to these situations, you can not only hold steady, but you can potentially prosper as a result. I know a lot of people that have gone onto a homestead, they've gone into some level of self-sufficiency, and they're actually better off. They feel more comfortable and things. But you have to get that education. You got to learn that, okay? And you can learn that through all different sources. Unfortunately, YouTube has really taken a dive in the last while, in my opinion anyway. Not much good information left. Anyway, you can see soaring costs of living are forcing households to cut down on spending, and authorities are actively encouraging customers to curb their energy use. I hate hearing that because, you just see it all the time on the commercial level, industrial level. There is no way that they're going to reduce their demand, and yet they're the ones that usually are using, in my opinion, wasting a lot of times. But you, the individual, you can't even heat your home. Yes, there's waste. Of course, there's always waste. But for people to not be able to take a shower or a bath, I mean, come on. It's just unbelievable. I hate hearing that. Eastern U.S. power grid orders cuts, issues system-wide emergency. And this is what happens. So when you don't have your personal situation in order and they cut your power, you do not have anything to keep the lights on. That's how serious it is, right? And this is what's happening right now. PJM, a vast electric grid that stretches from Illinois to New Jersey, has declared a rare system-wide emergency, as ordering some customers to curtail demand as a vast winter storm sends power use soaring. I don't like to hear this, and unfortunately, a lot of people, what happens? Suddenly you're out of power. you can't, if you're working from home, let's say, well, now you're not working anymore. If you got stuff in the fridge and the freezer, well, maybe you're going to put that outside because it's cold out there. This is the thing, okay? And we just have become way too set in our ways and heavily reliant on a system that is very fragile. Europe's energy crisis is just getting started. While Europe managed to fill its gas storage ahead of the winter next year, it will have to import huge amounts of LNG, liquid natural gas, in a competitive market to survive next winter. So yes, the understanding is Europe is going to be able to make it through the winter. It's not going to be an issue. But the winter after, that's when it becomes a problem, because they need to stockpile all of that over a period, and it doesn't look like they have enough coming in. So it's not now that's the issue, it's later. So watch that very carefully. Are they going to be able to get the US to come in and say, hey, help us out? I'm not so sure they're going to have enough. The next 12 to 24 months will be critical in establishing whether Europe can stave off a long-term energy crisis. According to the IEA, if Russian gas supplies drops to zero and Chinese LNG demand hits 2021 levels, which it might, the EU could have a supply-demand gap of 27 billion cubic meters in 2023. I think that would be significant, and I'm obviously going to keep an eye on this for you. You got to hit that subscribe button down below so I'll bring you each and every piece of the puzzle. Global energy crisis forces Japan to U-turn on its nuclear policy. Yeah, so you remember what happened with Fukushima, still going on today, by the way, hasn't even been cleared up. And what Japan needs to do, because they can't get the gas from Russia. I mean, they were so heavily reliant on gas from Russia that now they're saying, you know what, I think that nuclear thing, I think it's the right way to go. So they're on a fault line. In my opinion, probably should not ever have nuclear, or at least the way that it was done before. And so here they are, expanding it. I don't know enough about the situation. I do not work in this industry, but I know that it depends really on where you are if this is a good thing. It's for any form of energy, really any form of energy. Depends on where you are, and that goes for a personal level and also a wider level. Look, let me share something with you right now. I am excited to share with you an app that I've been using called Blinkist. Blinkist is an app that offers you the chance to quickly and easily understand the key takeaways from over 5,500 non-fiction books and podcasts in just 15 minutes. Right now, I'm reading a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It's a great book that talks about the importance of living in the now and the present moment, as well as how we can overcome our negative thoughts and emotions. But as much as I enjoy reading, sometimes I don't have the time to sit down and read an entire book. That's where Blinkist comes in. With Blinkist, I can get the key points and takeaways from The Power of Now in just 15 minutes, even when I'm short on time. And the best part is Blinkist offers summaries of a wide range of books and podcasts on all kinds of topics, so there's always something new and interesting to discover. It widens your knowledge in various areas and transforms ordinary moments into incredible opportunities to discover the world around you. Blinkist is not about learning. It's about understanding exciting ideas and statements. Blinkist Connect is a new feature that allows every Blinkist premium plan to be shared by 2 different accounts with no additional cost. It enables you to allow a second account to join your plan. The owner of the second account will get complete access to the premium without you having to share your login info. Whether you're looking to improve your career, add additional skills, or just want to expand your knowledge, Blinkist is a great resource that can help you do just that. So give it a try and see how it can add value to your everyday life. My followers can get a 7-day free trial and 25% off Blinkist annual premium by using the promo link in the description. Nestle CFO sees tough start to 2023 before inflation eases. You're looking at this left, right, and center. Roger expects complicated and difficult 6 months. World's biggest food group sees global recession looming. You've got a recession. You've got people that are unable to pay their bills. And you see that this is happening right now, 2023. Energy is a crisis. Recession is on top of all of this. And people are in the most debt they've ever been in history. Look at the chart. See it for yourself. That blue line, that's debt. That's consumer credit outstanding. That's showing us that we have never hit these levels before, and it's coming at a time in which the job situation, the economy, all of that converging. Very big problem, especially when that red line, that's the personal savings rate as a percentage of the disposable personal income, is dropping to record lows. So you got less cash, less savings, and yet you look at the debt skyrocketing, absolutely skyrocketing. Very bad in all cases here. Now we can look at the CPI, the PPI, and the PCE. These are all different measurements of inflation. All of these have been trending downward. Now that's positive, but I need to make something very clear, that the inflation rate is not the price. So that just means the year-over-year gain is lower than the previous year-over-year gain. It's still gaining. So yes, it's slowing down, but that's the price increase. And by the way, these are the official stats. These are not even the real stats. So keep that in mind. Here we have it, just showing us, depending on how you break it down, when you look at inflation, inflation, this word here is too generalized. So you could see it anyway, taking a look at whether it's maybe healthcare, maybe it's food and beverage, maybe it's services. In general, this has moved down over the last little while, okay? But things are, quote unquote, sticky, like rent. Rent just doesn't come down like that. It goes up and it's very difficult for it to come down. Housing prices. You need to have those mortgage rates stay elevated for a long period of time, and that then it punishes people. But it takes a while. So these things are coming around right now, and we're seeing it. We're seeing all of that. This is just showing us the PCE rate and how it's broken down. I just like to give you that insight there because you just see the headline number and it's not telling the whole story. But of course, service is one of those that really does contribute a lot to the inflation rate, and the PCE is the one the Fed watches. Then we have the ECB. So in Europe, they are expecting the final, the terminal rate is basically where they'll end up hiking in this current cycle. And the belief is that this will be 3.4%. We'll see if they can get to that level, but they have to slow down inflation. And so we will see people really taking a hit from all of this. If people are unprepared, then they're going to be in a world of hurt. So I believe that education is the number one way to do that. There's a lot of free information out there, there's paid information out there, and you've got to get whatever you can. The best thing that you can do today is read books, is get educated, talk to the right people in the right positions, and share the information as you learn it to others who are maybe one step behind you. You gotta share that info. Did you find this informative? If you did, hit that subscribe button down below. It's right next to the like button, and I will bring you more info tomorrow.